Hey y'all, hey, so this is Nia. Hey, I'm back with another story time. Um I, okay. So I have a story time today. It's like basically a horror story of a friendship and that it ended up real bad, and most people talk about how friendships ended in Florida, any part of Florida. And it's basically true. So this friendship that I'm going to talk about had lasted for about, and I'm not going to use no names or nothing, because it's really just one person. So, anyways, so basically, me and this person had been friends for some years. Like our parents knew each other, all of that. Like we was really close, and all of that. So during all this time, like we were we graduated, and then we didn't talk for a long time until we like got older, you know. So anyways, so me and her, we get in contact with I'm not gonna actually, and I'm not gonna make this story time long. It's just, not at all. It's not gonna be a long video, but this story time where this friendship just really just ended crazy. And yeah, so yeah, so basically fast forward, we're adults now, and we decided to take a trip to Florida. So we started talking, and I was like, well, I've never been to Florida, we had just always talked about going out of town. So this will be our first time out of town together. And I'm like I'm a very understanding friend, and I can be a little timid, but some things can just like be over the top, like with a lot of people, like their attitudes can be really, really bad, and you can only just take so much. So, anyways, I'm sorry I got off subject. Or back to the trip. So, basically, we have been planning this trip probably for a couple months. So, as far as that, the trip for a couple months, we decided to go to Florida, of course. We started, planning our flight and Airbnb, the way we wanted, to go. So we wanted to go. It was like sometime in the summertime. My birthday's in summertime. So it was, yeah, it's in August. So we decided to like, hey, let's go. So anyways, at this point in time, I knew she had stuff going on, and I had stuff going on too, but I wanted to make sure like this is a good time. And she was always like, yeah, this is a good time. And so I'm like, I want to make sure. So, and then she always had these attitudes all the time. So, I just wanted things to go as smooth as possible. So, anyways, we decided where we wanted to go. And then after we decided we wanted to go, the trip got closer. And then we finally went. So I had this idea of, I had never been on a plane before, and she had. I had this idea to get a luggage that I knew was free. So I decided to look at the measurements and all of that for us to get, a free carry on and stuff, and all the, stipulations for that. So anyways, so so this is where a problem started. So a problem started to where she headed to where she overpacks. And of course anybody would like to take more stuff than what they can, but sometimes you just can't. So anyways, takes so the bag situation got her very frustrated when we were, where when we were at the airport, and then that was like the first thing. So I was just trying to be calm about everything because I'm just trying to be very smooth about everything because I'm not trying to, you know, make things like, you know, a big deal that's not really a big deal where it can be fixed. So anyways, we got the bags together, and she was still a little upset about that, and I just kept letting her go on, go on, go on about the bags. Like, so she kind of went on about the bags all the way until it was time for us to get on the plane. So I'm like, trying to cheer up, like, girl, we all right, we gonna be okay. So, and long story short, y'all, we got on the plane for free. We had no problems, none of that. With our bags, none of that. So anyways, gets on the plane. Of course, it's like early in the morning. We all go to sleep. Everybody on the plane sleep. So I'm like, okay, when we wake up, we're going to start fresh and everything's going to be, everything's going to be decent, good. So anyways, so what happened was we decided to get us a rental car. So if you ever been to Florida, like when you out the plane, then you got to find out like what everybody takes this big everybody takes this big bus to different locations. So basically, we had to take the bus to the rental building. So anyways, it was really, really hot out there, like really hot. And so she was getting an attitude about that, about how hot it was. Like, okay, I never been, but I was just so excited, like nothing was want to kill my vibe for this trip, like nothing. At least I thought so. So anyways, moving on. So we finally get to the place and we get our rental car. So once we got our rental car, then we decided to like, okay, well, we're gonna get the rental car, and then once we get our rental car, we're gonna go to the store, get a few things or whatever, and then by the time we get our rental car and stuff, and we get what we need and stuff, we'll be able to go to the Airbnb to check in on time. So this one, all hell broke loose. So anyways, already at the beginning, the first day of the trip, it all broke loose. So we gets to the place, and they had a assigned parking spot for us. The truck was like a little too big to be in that parking spot, but I made it work. So anyways, so we're getting everything out the car, and we found our room, but we was having a hard time like trying to figure out how to get in there and everything. And I did get a little frustrated, but I'm like, because we couldn't get in contact with the person, that owned the property and stuff like that. And then sorry y'all. And also like, so fast forward, we all figured it out, somebody actually came down because we couldn't figure out how to get in there. So somebody came down and let us in, and then once we got let in, then we took it from there. So therefore, now we're having a problem getting into the room. So as we're having a problem getting into the room, I see this lady that is a housekeeper there, and I try to ask her questions and stuff like, hey, we having a hard time, we can't get in, and so we're having a hard time with that. So then my friend comes out of nowhere. So I'm trying to be nice, I'm being nice to the lady, trying to talk to her, trying to see how we supposed to like get in our room. So my friend, okay, so I kept trying and she got frustrated. And like she kept trying, I think it was like our code or something wasn't working. It was something like that. But as far as I can remember, our code wasn't working. So, fast forward, we got, the lady was trying to help us, and my friend literally yelled at her, was like yelling at her, like cussing at her, like just, and it's not her fault, you know what I'm saying? The little lady was so scared. She just she just walked off. I'm like, well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Just wasn't trying to be rude. So I wasn't trying to be rude. So we finally gets into the room, and like she's so frustrated. So I'm looking around the room, seeing how things are and stuff, and I'm like, man, like this room is smaller than I thought, but it had a sofa bed and it had a bed. So it's it's like a little bit smaller than what I thought. So anyways, um y'all. So anyways, we gets in there, we're trying to get like situated and stuff, and there's a balcony, off of it or whatever. So it's a balcony, and then it was a really nice place. So it was like a balcony right off of it. So I decided to go out there and just and cause like she started tripping or whatever. And I'm like, girl, calm down. It's not that bad. Like, calm down. So anyway, so I made sure like at least I thought I had everything. And she's like, where is the alcohol? Where is the alcohol? I'm like, I forgot. I must have, like, I'm looking around, like, I must have forgot it in the car. And she's like, oh, you always forgetting something, da 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 da. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, all I gotta do is go get it. It's not a big deal to just go get it. So, anyways, moving right along. So, I went to the car and I go get it, and I find out how to get back in. So it gets the alcohol, whatever, and I'm like, okay, well, let me go out here. And so I guess somebody called her phone, and I was like, well, let me go out here and just try to chill. So I'm like looking around and stuff like that, and I'm like, man, it's been a crazy day already. So then we just try to chill because we were going to get freshened up to go get something to eat. So not knowing that we we were staying across the street from a boardwalk, and we didn't even know that it was a boardwalk over there. All we seen was the water. So, which we did stay across from the beach, but we didn't know it was I don't know, it was all messed up. But anyways, we figured it out. So, come to find out, so we're in the room, and I calls like my family, let them know I made it and stuff like it. So I'm on the balcony, and like I shut the door and let them know I made it, because I'm like, because at this time I'm like, I'm getting so like frustrated, because I'm like, man, this attitude is not gonna stop, and I gotta see how I can make this trip work, without getting to an argument, without, any of that, because I'm trying to be positive about this whole trip, and she's just already making it difficult. So I'm like, so I took some time. Actually, I went to the balcony. I got, I chilled on the balcony. I try to, I think I called like my aunt or something and try to talk to her, and she tried to like, she talked to me and everything, and it calmed me down, and she was like, just try to make the best out of it. Just me trying to be positive, because I just felt like she was being very negative, very negative. So anyways, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna try to be positive. So anyways, not only we got there, she had a guy friend that lived there. So he gonna find out he was gonna come visit, and I was like very happy about that. But he wasn't gonna come visit till like nighttime. So anyways, sorry y'all, my allergies. So anyways, so come to find out, like I goes in the room, and I'm like, hey, trying to make small talk, like, hey, bro, what you think about this room? I'm like, it's cute, it's decent, and I was like, we must be, trying to make small talk or whatever. So I was like, well, what do you want to eat or whatever? Like, we're gonna go to dinner or whatever. And it's like, what do you want to eat? And so we've never been there before, so we don't notice that we don't notice like what we around or nothing like that. Even the boardwalk had restaurants, and we didn't even know it was a boardwalk till later on. So anyway, so we decided to like we chilled for a little bit, and then we decided like fast forward we decided like we went ahead and got in the shower, all that type of stuff, and then we got ready, and then by the time we got ready, like it was some hostility there. I don't really remember why it was just hostility. So and she was just very I don't know, she just had an attitude, but I just kept ignoring it. So, anyways, we gets ready and we goes out the door to finally go to a restaurant, and we go to the restaurant, and we decide to we were just like did not know where we were going. Like we were totally lost, and I'm driving, and I'm just like, and it's like getting cloudy, so you know all of a sudden I'm like we gets into some type of argument because she's like expecting me to know where to go, and I'm like I literally did not know where to go. Like I'm just like guessing like, hey, let's go here, or let's go there, and I'm like looking at my phone to try to see like, hey, where can we go, so anyways, um I'm looking at my phone, and all of a sudden it starts to rain. I mean rain hard. And if you ever been to Florida, it'll rain for a second, then it'll stop. But this rain just kept going and going and going and going. And then I have her in my ear, like I'm like, well, hey, you know, look for something else while I'm driving, because I can't look at the phone and pay attention to the road too at the same time. It was just absolutely crazy. So she's like, just saying all types of stuff, but you don't never want to go nowhere. It just stuff was just coming out of nowhere. So where I'm just like, girl, I don't know. I never been here before. I don't know where to go. So, so she's getting on me about that. So anyways, come to find out, it was raining and stuff. And then fast forward, the rain stopped. It finally calmed down. Found a restaurant. I forgot who it was. Some celebrity that owned this restaurant, but it was actually good. This restaurant was really good. So and so we goes, and everything kind of like calmed down that night, because I'm like, as long as we found something, I just let everything go. I was like, we found something to eat, like, hey, let's go here, woo woo. So we goes or whatever, and anyway, yeah, we goes to that restaurant. We sit down, we eat. We kind of, as I can remember, we had met a couple people, and at the restaurant, something like that, and everything was just like working out. We were just sitting here talking. So I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be a great night. So, anyway, so we just sitting up there, just you know, I think after we decided to eat, whatever, we wanted to like go back to the room, because for one, we had got rained on, all that. So we had to, freshen ourselves up again, because we got caught in the rain, and it was just like we didn't know where else to go. So, and then the next day was my birthday, which was going to be a very busy day. So, we goes back to the room, because actually this restaurant wasn't far from the room, and so we goes or whatever backs to the room, and we relax, and we try to chill and all that type of stuff. And her guy friend comes over, and he actually like cooked for us and stuff. So he cooked a little something for us, like to hold us, to like hold us over, in case we was hungry, later on, and all that type of stuff. And it was really nice. And I decided to like actually I just walked around there a little bit, not where the boardwalk was, but I just was like just hanging out there a little bit, trying to I was out the room, but it was just trying to figure out like what's all going on and stuff like that. Cause they had at this club, they had a little club, and it was like music, like a lot of music. Um, it was like a Mexican restaurant, a Mexican something. At the time we didn't know, but it was like a lot of people out there and was just playing music. But stay tuned, y'all, for part two.